Hi, it's Jo from Minerva. Today we're going to do a tutorial for putting in an open-ended zip. It's probably the easiest of all the zips to put in because you can put each one in separately and you've not got huge amounts of fabric attached to your zip while you're under the sewing machine. But you do need to make sure that you buy absolutely the right length of zip for your project. That might mean that you need to check which size you're going to make off the pattern because the zip might be different. So I've just made the Ozark vest from Wardrobe by Me, and I made the large size, so I needed to make sure that I've got a zip that fits exactly in the large size from neck to hem. An open-ended zip normally has a sort of industrial, urban feel about it, so you normally see quite a bit of the zipper tape. And sometimes it's put on the outside, so you have an exposed zip. So sometimes that you use the zipper tape on top. This vest that I'm showing you today has the zipper tape folded in, but it's still got a lot of the zipper tape exposed. You will use open-ended zips when you're making a bomber jacket, raincoats, coats. Sometimes you see exposed zips like this on the back of top, so from the neck down. To get it over the top, or sometimes you might see a completely open-ended one from the top to the bottom. Let's have a look how you do it. I'm putting in an open-ended zip today, so I thought I'd show you how to do it. This is a gilet, a men's gilet, and I want to put in an open-ended zip. And the first thing to know about open-ended zips is you need to have the right length, because you can't change it on a dress zip. If it's in the side seam, you can shorten the zip, but you can't shorten a zip here because you need the stopper to be in the right place. So you need to make sure that you know your hem allowance, or if you're adding a lining to a jacket, where you'll be adding the lining. So I've marked a seam allowance there to join, and I'm going to unzip my zipper into two pieces, and I'm going to put the zipper right side to right side. So I've got the right side of the jacket and the zipper is right side down. It's got the zipper facing me, then the zipper tape, and then the raw edge. I'm going to make sure that I don't go past that seam line because I'll need that to join on my next piece. So for example here, that zipper can't go right to the very end, or there's nothing to attach it to. I need to leave a 5mm, just a bit of fraying fabric there, a little bit of a seam allowance, and I'm going to pin the zipper in place. Open-ended zips tend to have lots of the tape showing. It's part of the sort of urban feature of having a metal toothed open zip. So you can put your zipper foot on your machine, but you won't be needing to get really close like you do with an invisible zip. Once you've got your pieces together, you can just try them out if you want to and check you've got them level, but if you've got that marking at the beginning, you should be fine. And now it's time to sew them on, and you don't sew open-ended zips really close. You want them to be a little bit further away. So if you would like to put a stitching line on, you can, or you can follow the little sort of patterns in the zipper tape. There's a couple of different weaves and shapes in the zipper tape, and I like to follow one of those. So I'm going to take my line from the bottom all the way up to the top, and I'm going to start at the bottom and all the way up to the top. If you go from top to bottom and then bottom to top, sometimes that happens to your fabric. It's sort of, you've dragged it through the foot that way, and then you drag this one up this way, and you end up thinking, well, how is this not lined up? I tacked it, I measured it, and actually the material and the sewing machine are behaving there. It's not your behaviour that's changing that. So it's best to start at the top and sew to the bottom, and then start at the top and sew to the bottom, or vice bottom to top. But you've got to do the same both sides, because then you're pulling the fabric through the machine at the same rate. You're not taking one way and one the other way, and that's where you end up with your zipper teeth not meeting. You will need to change the foot now on your machine to your zipper foot so that you can put the zipper tape along the edges of your jacket. People often ask me what's the best way to put a zip in, and I always say once. So I'm going really slowly I'm eyeballing my zipper foot along the edge of my zipper tape so that I know I'm going to get the same allowance on both zippers. Once I get near the end of the open-ended zip, I want to make sure that I'm not going to balloon around the zipper. So I'm going to have the needle down, foot up, and I'm just going to slide the zipper past where I'm sewing. That way I can carry on with my really neat seam line all the way to the end. You can try your zip before you take all your tacking and things out, and you should have the end so that you've got your space to do your seam allowance, and the same at the top. And this is where you'll get different finishes on different patterns, so you'll need to take the tacking out and press your fabric away so that you can do your top stitching. Some top stitching along the zip happens once you've put the lining in, so you need to follow the instructions to see which version and what the finish is of your jacket. That's how you put in an open-ended zip. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that's of interest to you and that's helped you to maybe choose a pattern that you weren't sure about choosing because you weren't sure how to put in a zip. Do come back again soon for more sewing tutorials. Thanks very much for watching. See you again soon.